Hello YouTube, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today, coming to you from a very hot day here in South Alabama. The rain has disappeared for a few days and we've traded off with intensely crazy heat, but that's just summer in the South. But today I want to talk about different approaches to a raw food diet. What works for me may not work for you. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, why don't you go down there now and hit that subscribe button. Then be sure you click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel and can come back and check out some more of my content. I tell you what, I am hydrated to the gills today. It is a hot one, like I said. It's looking like I'm probably not going to, the house is not going to close tomorrow. I kind of didn't figure it was going to close on the original date. There's like a backlog of stuff with banks these days, and they need to get an appraisal out here or something. So no big deal, just gives me a little bit more time to get a little bit more of my stuff out of here smoothly, and I don't have to rush tomorrow. But yeah, different approaches to a raw food diet. Listen, I'm the first one to tell you, and I don't try. That's why I don't try to, just mold everything around me. I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody, and that's why I'm always. That's why I always share a variety of sources and options, and they're not all in one little narrow niche. I like to share stuff that's just whole food, plant based. And a lot of it too is I just want to meet people where they are instead of giving them this one very rigid choice. But that's why I do share the people and the resources that I have. So if the way I do things isn't going to necessarily work for you, that there are other approaches that'll work for you. And to be quite frank, I would be surprised, except for other people out there that might have an odd lifestyle, an odd past, and just an odd life like I do. I would almost think that the exact way I do it is not going to work for everybody else, because people live a lot differently than me, I have found. So that's why for me, and also too, these days, the last couple of years, I've seen that stay in your own lane, telling somebody to stay in their own lane is a bad thing and ruffles feathers and gets people all riled up. Well, I'm the kind of person, I don't have a problem with that. I'm always trying to stay in my lane. I'm always trying to define what my lane is to people. And people are always kind of wanting me to get over in other people's lanes, and I'm not going to get in other people's lanes when I don't know how to operate in their lanes. Number one, I'm not a recipe person. Sometimes I'll show food like on Instagram or different places, and I never mind. It's not like I'm secretive or whatever, but a lot of stuff is just shit I throw together. Stuff that I do for convenience. Like if I get bored, I'll just get a couple of bags of kale and I'll just go off on green smoothies heavy for a few days or whatever. But I think a little bit more structure tends to work with some people. Another thing too, and before I started this video, I was on Instagram and I saw Melissa of Raw Food Romance and her husband Nate. I think that they're moving to Las Vegas. And good Lord, she was doing something in her stories. They were about to start prepping for the move. Now they prep, they cut, they chop. They're always prepping food. I follow them, a lot on Instagram, and we are polar opposites, because I actually get a little anxious just seeing all that food prep. I couldn't exist in a raw food world where I was constantly all day chopping, prepping, blah, blah, blah. But that works for a lot of people. Works for a lot of people because, number one, it makes it more convenient for a lot of people. And number two, a lot of folks are not going to be satisfied with my level of food. You need a little bit more tasty. You need a little bit more something else. And that's why, that's another reason I point you to people like Melissa, because twofold. They're great on showing you how to prep stuff, how to do this thing on the fly, how to do this thing if you're working, how to do this, that, and the other. They're also recipe people. I don't just talk about her because she's a friend of mine and I'm not getting paid for it or anything, but she's truly my favorite recipes. Now, I probably make a very small percentage of all the recipes that she has out there just because I'm lazy. I've said it. I've confessed it many, many times on here. I'm lazy, but she literally has so many different tasty recipes out there that there's no excuse for you to ever say you're getting bored on this lifestyle. There's literally something. I mean, and then Chris Kendall's also got some fabulous recipes. I mean, they're doing things like pizzas and lasagnas, all raw. Melissa also too, one thing I like about her recipes is even though they're very tasty and they can appear gourmet, and gourmet is kind of a relative term depending on how you define it, she gives lots of options. It's not like all her recipes are high fat or whatever. She's got low, like in fact the dips and dressings book, I like that she has no fat recipes, she has low fat recipes, and then she has, you know, more moderate fat recipes. So I'm not the recipe person. There's a lot of good people out there for that. So you know, like I say, when I'm mentioning people, I don't just casually throw people out there for, you know, for no reason. I like to be sincere with my recommendations. I like to really only recommend people that I'm sure about. I think that goes back to I worked in tourism. I was never a concierge, but I had kind of a concierge mentality. If I recommend something, like I feel like I need to stand behind it. So I don't just recommend everybody and everything, but there's so many different approaches to this lifestyle. You know, some, like I've said many times before, with writing things down in a food journal or having recipes. Some people need more than others. Some people just sail through and do this lifestyle. They eat fruits, they eat salads, like you know, they make smoothies. Maybe they have. I'm kind of describing myself. I eat lots of fruit. I make lots of salads. I, you know, make a lot of smoothies, but all of those are super, super simple. I do a little, about the most prep you'll see me do is like some of these salads I've been talking about this summer, where I will get my food processor out, load up with, say, some purple cabbage, some broccoli, some carrots, some purple onion and stuff like that. And I'll just take one, you know, I'll take maybe 30 minutes or so and prep like a bowl of each one of those things. Prep some, put it in the refrigerator. So then when I'm making my salad, you know, I can just get a lot of different things on there, a lot of diversity in there without putting in a lot of work, because I'm not going to work on this lifestyle. That's probably one reason. Number one, I don't feel like I'm missing out, but that's like, I did juice a lot heavier in the beginning, and I would have ended up with a gun in my mouth if I'd have continued that route. It was every day, chopping, preparing, cleaning up your equipment, cleaning up the kitchen, and then you just did it over and over every day. That's just not for me. But like I say, the whole purpose of this is different strokes for different folks. Don't try to put a square peg into a round hole. And you can come to me for certain things, and I'll still try to point you in the right directions the best I can. But there's just a lot of questions I get, especially on Instagram and stuff, that I'm like, that's just not my lane. That's not my lane. And sometimes even when people are like, well, what are your thoughts on this? It's like, I don't feel like I have really intelligent thoughts on something. Like I said, what you see, like, I don't know how many others are doing that on Instagram and YouTube and what have you, but with me, really, what you see is what you get. I'm not exaggerating when I say I'm lazy. I'm not exaggerating when I tell you just how simple that I do over and over and over and over. But once again, I'm also not telling you like my way is the one way. My way is the only way. I want all of you guys to follow me and do what I do. That's ego right there. I've talked about this before in relation to others. I've talked about it in relation to doing this lifestyle. When somebody just wants you to follow them more so than they want to see you succeed, or give you information that might be more relevant to you, that's ego, straight and simple. And we're humans, we deal with ego. But like I said, from day one, I've just wanted this channel to, number one, be just kind of like where you get to observe how I do it. And, you know, by the people I've networked with, the people I've watched throughout the years, and just going through tons and tons of things of people, what I've seen work for people and what I haven't seen work for people. That's why I just do my videos, and that's why I do my social media like I do, because I never want to make it all about me. I just kind of want to give you some tools. I kind of want to get you started, point you in a direction, get you curious about this lifestyle, share some of the things like I've talked about in the past about how I recommend researching this lifestyle. And I want to empower you. I want to give you that stuff and then let you go and study it and make your own decisions on this. So I guess I'll finish with beware anybody that tells you their way is the one true way, or any of the culty stuff, or if it feels like it becomes more about the person than the information or the food itself. That's a red flag. Anyhow, just my thoughts on it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll probably see you this weekend. Peace.